Very good. So here it is, November 12th. I don't know how we got here from last time we met was October 8th. And so here we are at the age friendly meeting. I sent out the October meeting minutes. Did anybody to look those over? Everybody okay with them? No edits needed, so yeah, we'll finalize those and send them to the to be posted on the website. Very good. And since then, there has been a meeting of the group that was going to meet to discuss the farmers and artisans market wrap up for the season. And Tracy's not here, but thank her for taking some meeting minutes and she shared them with me and I've talked with Barbara and I'm just going to give her a really high level overview of how that meeting went and if we need any more discussion, we can. If not, we'll just take it in the new year, we're gonna start planning again, but from what I understand, and I will say I was not at the meeting, and this was from the meeting minutes and other discussions that, there is a sense that the market is sort of on life support. And really need perhaps to go forward, we'll have to look at that in the new year. We didn't have the farmer participation, which we really hoped for. There was artisans there. And those that were there appreciated being there and, but at the same time, it wasn't as successful as we hoped, perhaps.
If we were a fetus, we'd be at month 3. Let's put it that
I
way.
said that. Still have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah.
just at the beginning, right? Yeah.
With.
I mean, I'm not objective. That's why I want to
Yeah.
listen to you.
Yeah, so, yeah. With some things to work out, but
Yeah.
like, you and Tracy Perry, have signed up to attend a farmer's market training course held by the Maine Farmers Market Association. That's gonna be over this.
Yeah,
winter.
over the next, starting November, we have an introduction and overview, and then there'll be 10 workshops for 2.5 hours each. And it's called conflict management at the farmer's market, but I just filled out an intake form. Very interesting. I looked at the 3 others that had been posted. We all had an average of 5 to 7 vendors, so we're all new markets. Yeah. Mhm. So the real goal is reaching out to more farmers and seeing. Do you want to mention the surrogate idea or should I mention it? The independent contractor idea?
You're on a roll. If you feel
Oh,
like now's the time to talk
well,
about it or later.
Yeah, Tracy Perry mentioned the idea of having an intermediary from some of the markets that are thriving, maybe have an overabundance of vegetables. If we could legally work out the means by which someone could buy at those markets and then bring them to ours. And we don't know what that would be exactly, but it could be an independent contractor role or a surrogate role of some kind. Maybe it would be a completely new job title, but it seems if there are people here who want fresh vegetables and there are markets out there that have them but don't want to drive an hour, there must be a way to facilitate that. So
There were so a lot of problem solving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking about maybe
Yeah.
how to do it a little bit differently next year
and maybe get more volunteers and more children's activities that are not complicated. Butcher block paper on a big table for kids to draw, more musicians. Yeah, so we got the winter to work on it, so.
Anybody else that was at that meeting want to offer any comments or? We'll just wait and see.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Yeah.
it's something that's growing and we don't want to abandon it yet, but
Oh,
there's still more
none of-
discussion about it and see how we.
Yep.
Potentially look at things. So, welcome, Tom. We were just doing a little bit wrap up of that.
Problems and possibilities for the farmer's market.
Unless we, as Russ said, unless we find some food vendors. People aren't coming because that's what they're looking for. I reached out to a guy, in Brownville. He's looking to see if maybe somebody in Milo, there's a couple of guys in Milo. He said maybe they'd be interested because they don't go. I thought they might go to Dover, but he said they don't. If there's anything there, I don't know. See.
And we also have possibility of brand new farmers. This is from the Lincoln News from 2 weeks ago, a new farm that's starting. And Chiron Farms is only 2 years old. So we don't know who might be starting new farms who might be interested too. So I reached out to him on Facebook, but haven't heard back yet. So yeah, all kinds of possibilities.
more to come on that. Have over the winter time.
Yep.
Like working. So speaking of winter time. Once we get some snow, so our annual event is the Snow Down. And so I just have talked to Robin, she couldn't be here with us today, she had an appointment, but we'll be able to start attending meetings again, so Robin Stevens, so she'll kind of be, sort of take the lead on that for us, and I was able to, I just spoke with Cody McEwen, our new rec director last night, and so we'll touch base with him and connect and Tom, because you had been part of that before, like who initiate, is that through the rec department, is that through the town, where does that initiate and then?
Town.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and so he was, because he's new in that position, he needed to figure out all the players and that sort of thing, so just figure out.
Would love to have them step in and
Yeah, I know. You don't wanna overwhelm him too much first thing, but I want you to know that that's on the radar and. Potentially, like in talking with Robin, just knowing when it's school vacation, it would like, if it followed suit from last time, it would be like February 16th.
Yep.
So that's sort of.
that always seems to be the best time to
Yeah.
do it, weather-wise and everything else. And Millinock, it's always the first weekend,
Right.
second weekend is East Millinock.
And then talking with Cody, there's something about a potential basketball tournament or something, there's some.
Usually is,
Potential something that might,
that's usually going on at the
that's
same
usually going
time.
on as
Yep.
well, so, yeah, I'll go, so. More to come on that, but that's on, our radar and we'll go forward to that. I was hoping, oh, there's John, I don't know if you're able to come on, our fire chief actually had the sand bucket program discussion and next on the agenda. There you are. Very good. And you're on mute, but I'll just let others know when I reach out to him to say like, okay, we good with this to start, again this season because it's the start of the season. He is, but there was some concerns or we need to do it a little bit differently. So do you want to share?
Yeah, so I reached out to after I got an email from Jane, I followed up with her. Few concerns with us continuing to do it here at the fire department. Last year we had some issues, people want their buckets right away and they demand them, this is the time frame when you can drop a bucket off. And our problem is, that time frame doesn't always work for us here. For the fire department, usually, the time frame that they want us to drop a bucket off before we know it, we're out on our emergency call. Calls have doubled since I came here at the fire department. I just don't think we're in the same places where we once were to help with the program 100%. I think, I think things have changed. We need to take a look at it at a different approach from the fire department side. So we're willing to house buckets here and people come and get them here at the fire station. I know that's not going to work for everyone. So I did have a conversation with Tom to see if there was any interest under his role as code enforcement, health and safety, if he wanted to partner with us to deliver the buckets. We can house them here. Kind of the same approach as we've done before. We just won't be the ones going out to deliver the buckets.
So that conversation's been had. Did you just say that?
Yes. Yeah.
What was the result of the conversation?
Well, like I told John, that program's not going anywhere. That was too hard to get. And I talked to Peter. After I talked to John. And public health and safety will take that program, that's not a problem. Which is me.
Sounds like, other than that, you're a party of one, that sounds like a good alignment, I would think, anyway.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
safety.
it fits in, as well as where it fit in with the fire department.
Mhm.
And John says, no problem leaving buckets there. And we'll still have buckets, if somebody wants to come get one, they can still do that.
Yep.
But, I've got quite a few on that list that. Like delivery. Really require a delivery,
Yeah.
so.
And that will give you
We'll
a chance
just-
to touch base with the homeowner or the resident that you're delivering it to and get a sense of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
If you need any extra hands, let me know. Can gather a few people and hands.
Very good. So is it, do we utilize the same, we had a poster, a flyer last time, you know, as far as put it out in the same manner, do we need to change? the
No,
phone
I think
number
we
for
haven't
that?
called, I think we haven't called the code office. And we'll take care of it right there.
Okay, so,
And then that way, you know, they're not still getting bombarded with calls.
okay, so the phone number needs to change.
Yeah,
What is that phone number? Cause I have this.
723-7005, extension 2. That way they can leave me a message if I'm out of the office. Or if Tracy's there, you know. They can leave with her, but also if they leave it on my machine, I can return the call.
Okay. So I'll take that flyer that we had before and move forward. So should that start like anytime, or is there a date that you wanna kick that off, or?
We usually kick it off December 1st. I mean, unless we start getting, you know,
So people can prepare.
unless we get snow next week,
Mhm.
you know, but.
Yeah.
I think we start getting the buckets and everything ready. And we say that we'll be ready December 1st. We'll try to be ready before that, but
Sure. So are there plenty of buckets? Do we need to acquire more buckets?
I haven't taught, I don't,
Yeah, I think we got probably 20 buckets here from leftover from last year that we've gone around and collected, and then extra spare buckets that we kept on hand, so.
Okay. So we're good.
and if we do, all they gotta do is go to Track Supply.
They've donated.
And she'll give me whatever I need to just go get them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good there.
They've been a good partner in the past and donated.
They've been a very good partner. You know, they've given us, I don't know how many buckets over the years, a lot.
Yeah, I remember when I first started out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I asked. So. Good, we had a problem, now it's solved. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's an easy problem.
That's an easy problem, yeah, that we can complete that program, so very good. And I know this on another side, but it was, the grant that we had put in, we won't know yet, I think November, 15th or the 20th, so. Don, the one that we put in, Amber put in through the town for us to find out if we get those funds for the CO2 monitors, so. Or farms, yeah, so.
Yep.
Next time we meet, hopefully we'll have an announcement of another resource, more work for you, right? But another resource for you.
That shouldn't be any issue. That's a project, you know, that we can handle, so.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. So for the short agenda that I created around some of the work that we have going on, that's all that I had to cover, so we get to go into some member updates. If we have members that have updates.
Well, I can mention the Christmas tree Santas that's coming right up, with a significant amount of help from Amber. Representing the town of Millinocket, we're collaborating to do our second annual Christmas tree giveaway. Also includes packages which are being built. As donations come in, that increases the number that we can help in the future, as well as what kind of package we put together this year. So there are flyers on Facebook, and we're trying to circulate as much as possible. Not sure, Amber, you listening? I think we had 28
Hi.
families. Hi, are we around 28 families right now?
I'm hopping on right now to give you an exact number.
Thanks.
And you mentioned packages.
There's a Hannaford gift card was given last year to each family and $40. The tree comes with lights, Christmas tree stand, tree toppers paid for by the town of Millinocket. Ornament balls. A lot of things are sifting in because Christmas Tree Santa is the organization that originates with the entire program, gives what they can when they can. So it's kind of as each place that receives trees tells the originator, which is a friend of Jane and I's, Alex, what we need. We were hoping to do 75 families this year, but we didn't get rid of all the trees last year at 50, so he recommended that we stick with 50 for this year. So. you have
We're
any-
at 25 right
25.
now.
Okay, and it's
Halfway
been
there, I'm sending another push out this afternoon. It's already scheduled.
great, and we've been about. So we're about halfway there, and it's been a couple weeks. And it's not just focused on families in need, senior citizens, which, you know, this is a great place to bring it up because it is for all ages. But because of the limited number that we have currently, each year it will grow, but we like to get those families that are on the list first. Last year, we had some left over. I had a veteran walk up, say, could I actually have one of these? I don't have one in my apartment. I live alone, you know, or certainly weren't gonna say no, but I was glad that we had one to give. There was another couple walking by that were a little bit older and they said the same thing. We don't have any kids, but could we have a tree? They didn't want the package. They just wanted the tree, you know, so it's not specific to families in need, but that's where we start. So.
In the date for that?
It's tentatively, we're still looking at the November 30th or December 1st. Amber and I were just communicating about that today because it was gonna be December 1st on that Sunday. But the Elks is having their senior Christmas party that day.
I haven't had a chance to ask Tom.
So Tom, are you available on
Uh,
November
that-
30th?
I'm out of town till the 30th.
Oh,
That's the problem.
oh, we'll stick with December 1st then. It just throws a little more traffic down in that area and whatnot, so. The reason Tom is intricate in this is that it's possible he'll be wearing a Santa suit that day.
Uh, yeah, it's possible.
I see you get the beard going, you're sure fit. Yes. So. Each year we'll get our ducks more in a row and be even more ready, but Amber's always a great push for me. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
Great
Well,
collaboration.
that leads into our other one. Amber, why don't you explain our other program that we have going for the 22nd?
Oh, on December 22nd, the town of Millinocket is working on a Festival of Lights parade. The parade will meet at Stearns High School, starting at 4 o'clock, going down Penobscot Avenue. We'll end at Veterans Memorial Park until 6 p.m. Santa and his elves will be available for kids to get their last minute wish in. We also want to open this up to any nonprofit who might want to come down. And this could be a good fundraising opportunity, whether you're selling baked goods, hot cocoa. We're in conversations to hopefully get the children's choir there to sing some holiday music. So we're still in the very early planning stages, but if anyone wants to join or has any input of how we can make that better, let me know, please.
I'm working on the Architecton board because it's our 10-year anniversary and we have not planned any type of announcement or celebration to that effect. So it might still be just a party of one in that parade, but if so, I would like to put something together. But it's
Thank
coming
you.
fast, so we'll see. But
The Christmas tree Santas reminded me of just of a question. Does anyone know, like from the transition team this year, are they doing the Thanksgiving packages for families in need? I haven't heard anything this year.
I haven't heard anything either, Diana. That's a good question. That's a good question.
I can ask, Deb and Kevin and get back to you all. But I know it's often been sort of a word of mouth thing, and I'm just wondering, you know,
I haven't
out there.
heard anything on it.
Okay.
Also, this might be a good time to mention, as a follow-up to Randy's showing of the documentary called Hope, Boreal Theater is now a drop-off point for donations to a homeless shelter in Bangor. And I'll be there at the cafe from 10 to 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have 2 big boxes. And yeah, we're beginning to get donations, but we could either new socks and underwear or gently used winter hats and scarves and coats. So,
Yeah, I saw our flyer.
Yeah.
So,
mhm,
very good.
Yep.
How was the turnout for that film?
pretty good. There were about 30 people, I think, yeah. It was really an excellent film, yeah.
I had planned to attend and then I thought it was in my calendar, I put Sunday. So I missed the
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah.
messed that up on my end, but.
It's probably worth showing it again. I think it won't be outdated, yeah. I'll mention that to Randy. The basic bottom line of it was shelter first. People do better if they, in their lives, if they have a place to live, they can do other things rather than saying you can't have an apartment until you have a job, until you have this. Get them housed first, housing first. There was a lot of interviews with people that were very touching and it makes sense if you think about it, really. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just a minor thing, but if you do know of anyone who needs like socks, hats, gloves, hand warmers, that kind of thing, we do have them available, you know, take what you need.
Oh, you do
here at the
upstairs?
Library.
Oh, right.
And in some of our bathrooms, and those are all provided by the, First Congregational Church here, so. It's just kind of a word of mouth under the radar thing, but we do have them available here.
A fun age-friendly activity coming up at Boreal will be the improv theater group starting December 14th, Saturday mornings. All ages are welcome. And it's $2 a class, super affordable, and there'll be a showcase. If you attend 5 out of the 10 workshops, you can be in the showcase. Mindy Washington, who does the writing group here, is teaching it, and it'll be a ton of fun. If you have never tried it, check it out. It's really fun. Saturdays 10 to 12 at Boreal. Yeah.
Is there a poster for that or anything?
Yeah, it's been on Facebook, posted by Boreal, and yeah, check it out.
See you there soon.
We moved it up to December 14th because of the marathon. There'll be, by the way,
That,
quite a few,
I wanna come see that.
Yeah.
Call me that day.
a lot of stuff happening at Boreal before and after the marathon. So check it out. Check out the website, boreal.org, theater.org. Films and stand-up comedy and open mic, all kinds of stuff. I just joined the board of Boreal, so, and I'm trying to get them to be open to some activities during the week, like maybe a ping pong club or some gentle yoga, because it's vacant a lot of the time. It's empty. So, yeah, I'm working on that.
We should talk yoga.
Okay.
And John, we have-
Okay.
Say Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoda.
Yoga, we got connected.
Gentle Yoda. Or angry Yoda. If you have any suggestions at all for what you'd like to see for events at Boreal, you can email me. I'm just working on a survey that I'm going to be handing out at the cafe, and maybe we'll post online as well. Mark Miller right now is the main attraction, but we should have some other things also happening.
That's good.
Any other updates?
I would like to say that over the past month or so, I've gone to Cotton Valley Health. I've dropped off information there and they sent it to the administration. I went to the Millinocket Regional Hospital, gave up some information also to the walk-in care. And then I talked with Carolyn Bushard, Human Resources at the hospital, left her some information, and she said she would give it to what could go to.
Okay.
In addition to that, I met with Creative Options. Amber was nice enough to set me up, and I talked with her for a while, and she said there may be possibilities there. So I left her some information as well. I'll be contacting KFI, Living Innovations, and a few more doctor's offices. I got hung up, my printer kind of died on me, so that put things on hold for a bit. But at this point, I will be sending out information in envelopes to the churches. That's the one, right? I don't know how other ways to reach them, but it'll be curious because they'll be curious about Senior Check in Maine. I have the labels all made up, and I'll have the same information that I distribute here for them. And then I'll be reaching out to East Millinocket. Then I'll go Sherman, Medway, and I'll work my way through. I was wondering if I'm missing anyone that would be of interest that you would know of, and if you could let me know and ponder on it. And then I'll see if we can meet with you, and hopefully by then I may have some other options. But I'm working on a mailing list now from here to Aroostook County with all the EMS, fire departments, police departments, hospitals, anything that I'm touching around here, I'm extending it also outward, but I won't be doing that until after I cover this area well. This is the primary, reason I started, but it seems that rural areas, I'll also be reaching out there because that's where it's needed, and I did pick up a customer from.
You ever think of touching
Mhm.
base with churches? No, different churches, see if.
Yes, I have a listing of them, and like I said, I'll be mailing out information to them in the area. I've already talked with a few people that are involved with different organizations, and they thought it was a good idea. And I have some information here. I ended up, Town Care provided me with a 1-800 number that's specifically from Maine, so that when anyone calls with that number, they will be answered immediately, and the information will, they'll be helping people out. They make exceptions if the need be. With the lady that signed on, there was nothing available for like an hour and a half away. This is how deep there she is. So he set her up with that, with the sheriff's department. And she was quite happy with it. And so that tells me that out there is important. It's just how to get out there is the thing. And I'll be passing these out, and I'll be having more of these available, so that you can pass them, you can use them yourself, but the 1-800 number is on there. You can keep that stack if you want to, yes. You can have that, Tom.
And I think when we met last time, we asked, was there a number to call as opposed to just utilizing, computers?
Yes.
So you made that happen. Or
Well,
they made that happen.
they made that happen for me. They're so good. I mean, whatever I request, he's right on it. And he thought it was a good idea. He tried to get a main number 207,
Yeah.
and they're all taken.
They're all.
So that's why he's ended up with, there you go, if you need any more, anyone needs more, but I'm going to get beige paper so that it looks nicer. But please, if you
Very good.
have ideas or whatever, just let me know, you can shoot me a message or whatever. Information is right there. And we'll go forward, but I will be so persistent with this that I have no desire to give up. It's like, it's something in me that, I really
Yeah.
want this to succeed. And like Diana was saying, once a few people get on board, it'll take a life of its own. But until then, I will be patient and continue to, I will be getting flyers out different places at some point, but it's a work in progress. And any ideas or thoughts, let me know, and we'll go from there.
Very good. Thank you for that. Any other updates? Information we should share with each other.
Any news on mosquito, when that's gonna get done?
Oh.
I know some old people that want to. go for them.
Amber response.
We will be finishing groundwork within the next 2 weeks. We have already started the installation of the rope tow itself. He should finish installation after the groundwork. And then once installation's complete, we just have to have it inspected by the state. Once we get that approval, we should be live for snow January 1st if everything stays on track. So we're really excited.
I hope you're right about no snow till January.
Well, I mean, I'm being hopeful. I think we might have snow before that, but as far as getting it installed and having it inspected, I want to make sure we're giving ourselves enough of a window to give everyone time to get their jobs done.
Cause that will be an addition over at the rec area when it comes to the company slow down.
Mm. Oh, yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
Poor kids then.
Ron, do you have any update about the Red Cross program to share at this point, or is that in the future meeting? with you?
Yeah, so the Red Cross approached us recently because we had a couple small kitchen fires and they wanted to do a program with us here in Millinocket. So I reached out to the library. They were willing to partner with us. I presented a date back to the library, back to the Red Cross for January 30th. Once I hear that that's gonna work for them, I'll let you guys all know, but it's gonna be a 1 hour home fire safety program as well as some emergency preparedness for this time of year. Or for the cold season, so kind of excited to bring them forward, you know. They reached out, so I said, we're more than happy to have you come help us.
Mm.
Well, if there's no more updates, I will share one more thing. Let me think about it for a minute. Anyway, yeah, it's all about like, and we'll have to talk about it more. And I was hoping that Tracy was gonna be here because I know transportation is a big part of things that she's working on too. And so the reason why I wasn't at that farmers market meetings, because I went to Justice in Motion, Maine Transportation Justice Summit, and it was in Bangor, and so that was on October 29th. So and in conjunction with that, I recently, all right, let me back up. It's not there, we're not in a position to solve all the transportation problems, right? But I know this Moving Maine Network, they're looking for transportation stories, and they're trying to build, you know, all these stories to be able to go to the legislature to let them know, here is what's going on in Maine, so they deeply understand the transportation needs of the region. And so I wrote down a couple, I'm gonna just read to you something that I wrote down during that conference that hit home to me. So transportation is not just a ride. It's not just a walk in the park. Transportation is essential to how we live our lives and how we connect with our communities. Our transportation system shouldn't leave anyone behind. We believe that a better transportation system is possible. So that's sort of part of their vision and their thinking. And a lot of the day was not tried to imagine what a transportation system would look like, but it really got down to the emotional and social part of it, of how it impacts people. And it's the social isolation and not getting where you need to go and not getting your needs met. So it really boiled up a lot of emotions and, you know, and thought processes around that. And I have some more stuff that I can share later. But in conjunction with that too, so also that transportation grant that we had through the Maine Community Foundation with Penquist, where we were paying through Thrive, we were paying for the fares for people to utilize Penquist, the new Freedom Rides and general transportation. That has come to an end. You know, all those funds are gone until I can find other funds. Next time I'll be prepared. I just got today the report actually from June of last year up until October 31st of this year. Just some of the usage data, you know, and how many rides were provided and where people were going, and it just builds a case for the need. And those, I think, 3 individuals, it might get up to 90 in total that utilize the service during that time, because it wasn't, you know, over and over again. How it impacted their life, I'm sure, you know, it was a great help to them. And I'm sad that the funding has gone away and haven't had it. I could say I take on the responsibility or whatever, didn't find another funding source just to continue that. But I'm sure there's more out there and I want to continue looking. But I've got some data and we'll have to figure out how to build the case or however we want to go forward.
Does that include links funding has gone also, or?
No, it was just the age-friendly funding that I had to be able to pay the customer. I mean, these programs are still
Oh,
happening. It's
okay.
just the $1 or the $2.50 or the $7, you know, whatever. I don't have the customer fare isn't being paid for through this funding source that was in place for over a year and a half. So yeah, so the program, I don't want that to be out there. The program's still there through Penquist. They still offer that. It's just now that the person, the individual needing the ride, will have to go back to pay the fare for this. Whatever that fare. So next meeting, I'll try to be prepared to better just share that information that was just shared with me on Penquist. Yeah, and John, you probably got the email too from Penquist. I know we gave letters of support.
Yes.
That they were awarded the Rural Community Innovations Transportation Planning Grant. And I know both of us through Thrive and through the library had provided letters of support. So we're gonna be pulled into some meetings. So they'll be hearing from us here, and we'll see how we can help out that project and program that they're doing.
is that to get the transportation program back? That they had, that they were losing because it went,
So that, I say good news around that, they haven't lost that yet, they've had appeals, and their appeals are even
good.
longer, so they're continuing to offer those services, yeah, I know they. Like took it to court, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about, but not enough to like speak,
so they did get a reprieve.
yeah, they've got.
A little
reprieve,
bit,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so.
Good,
Yeah, they're continuing
Good.
to offer the same programs that they always had, and those haven't gone away, yeah.
because I know that the company that is taking that, or that they had planned to give that to. Does New Hampshire and Vermont. And I've got a couple of friends that are out there very active in transit, and they said it's been awful.
That's
So
really good, pretty good thing.
I'm glad to hear that they were at least got a reprieve to
Yeah. they're still-
maybe save that.
they're Still working.
Good.
So this is a $35,000 grant Penguin's got to help develop a transportation plan that addresses accessibility and equity. The planning activities will identify transportation barriers, consider current and future community needs, actively engage older adults and people with disabilities, and create or strengthen multi-sector partnerships. So they're eager to begin the work, so stay tuned. And that's it. So, we're quietly behind the scenes, still working. Not gone away, and we recognize that there's a need, so we'll continue to work on that. So, yeah, and the one other thing before I'll wrap it up,
Okay,
here,
question.
yeah,
So did you say that you need stories that illustrate the need for
yeah.
transportation? And is that like for the state to show Penquist? Cause I think we've got a fair amount of stories we
Yeah.
can share.
Yeah,
If you need-
so that was the the moving main network. I will look at, yeah, I'll find a connection to that. Yeah. We'll follow up. Yeah. And the other thing I'll just make mention of, because it's in our work plan too, when we're still working and through the collaborative. On establishment of city council, and John and I have met a couple of different times, and we do have a needs assessment we're working on, and now it's up to me to make the call. I'm gonna take that on to our food pantries and have some conversations, and I need to update, what I have on the Brad Penobscot website around all the food resources, so it behooves me to go ahead and do that to make sure our website is up to date, but also to figure out and find out, the needs and the capacity of the food pantries that are listed there, so stay tuned on that. So,
And that intertwines with transportation as well.
oh my God, that's quality of, yeah, all quality of life and community health and, yeah. So, if there's no other comments or anything to bring to the table, want to talk about our next meeting date? If we stay this sort of schedule, it would be Tuesday, December 10th. Would that work for folks? And the library at the meeting spot.
Looks like it's already reserved.
Like somebody's ahead of us. How dare they? Yeah. AI, right? Somebody knows. So we'll go ahead with December 10th at 2:00 for our next each funding meeting. Everybody's putting it on their calendars. Be careful, Barbara, how you put it on your calendar, because we put it on everybody. So thank you for joining us. And thank you, Amber.
No problem. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.